Hi guys, it's Carissa, and I just got up from a lengthy nap. Um, Mike and I got home a little over 3 hours ago, and we both laid down and took a nap. It's just such a long day for us when we go to the actual place that does all of the retrievals and transfers because it's out of town for us. But they have a branch in town, I know I've mentioned this before, that does ultrasounds and blood work. So I can get most of my work done through their local center, and then we drive out a little under 2 hours away to have the other procedures done. The other thing that made today such a long day was that I opted to have acupuncture for my transfer. And the process for that, which I didn't realize until yesterday, is to have a session prior to the transfer and then immediately following. So when I went in, even though I went in through their Healing Arts Center, which is where they do the acupuncture and massage and things like that, it actually led me through to a room that was connected to the fertility clinic, and so it had an ultrasound machine in there. It already had the speculum and all the things that they were going to be using for the transfer. So all I had to do was get undressed once and lay in that room, have my acupuncture. Immediately following, they brought Mike in for my transfer, and then they did the next session of acupuncture. So that was really nice. It took a little bit of the stress out of it because there was so much unknown on my part as to, where I was going to need to be and if I was going to be on time, but they had everything scheduled just right. They know exactly what they're doing, obviously. So, going into today, Mike and I were, we were excited, but I think we're just nervous. We're cautious. We are just so terrified to be brokenhearted after all of this, and so I think that we're trying to just be sensible and treat everything like it's going well, because it truly is, and we have to be grateful for that, but at the same time know that, we can't get out of control and get out of hand and start buying cribs and stuff. So I think we're trying to also be there for each other and emotionally kind of stabilize the overall feeling in our home. I have been very uncomfortable physically, and I think that kind of keeps me connected to all of this. I think that I appreciate the discomfort in a way, because when I have an IUI, yeah, I might have a little bit of cramping the day of, but my body hasn't been put through quite so much with our previous attempts. So doing it this way makes me feel like it's more real, and like I can have more of a sense of an understanding of what I'm going through and kind of feel connected to the process. And I think that actually helps Mike as well, because instead of being a rage monster like I was on Clomid, I am just maybe a little uncomfortable, and you need to sit a certain way or do different things to try and make myself just feel better physically. And I think that he's a lot more on board with that than when I was on Clomid, and he'd ask what I wanted for dinner and I'd start screaming. So overall, I have to say, I've said it before, this whole entire experience has been really pleasant, and as hard as it would be for us to know that we have to do it again, we're willing to. It's nothing that put us out that much as far as time and attention and emotion. I think we've just been handling it really well. So we came home today and took a nap, and Mike actually went back to work. He's been taking quite a bit of time off from his new job for this. So they're so super supportive, but as kind of a thank you, he wanted to go and help them this evening and make sure that he was there. So I don't have any specific information, and I don't know that I ever will. Supposedly the website that they have, the patient portal that I can log into, it gives me all of my appointment dates and my lab results and things like that, but I don't know if there's a quality grade or anything like that associated with the embryos that we had, but we had been told that it looked like I had at least 10 lead follicles, and of those 10 that were kind of being measured, we retrieved 7 eggs, and of those 7, only 2 of them were mature. So they fertilized both of those mature eggs, and we're very lucky that they both were still with us today. And when we went in, they gave us a sheet with a printout with a picture of them, as well as this one here. So there's our 2 little embryos. And everything was really smooth and easy. They were placed with a catheter. It was very similar to an IUI. Mike was able to sit kind of up at the head of my bed and be there with me through that process and see how everything went. He hasn't actually been there for any of my other procedures before. So other than this cycle, he's never been around to see what actually happens. And I think that he has more of an appreciation as well for everything, just because he was able to be there. But we're feeling really emotional. I think that we feel happy and we feel better about everything today than we did a couple of days ago. Through all of this, all I ever wanted was to be able to use 2 embryos at transfer time. I was kind of feeling like, because I've never, ever been pregnant before, and I've never had, to my knowledge, anything this close to where we are right now take place, I thought maybe our odds would be better if we could put 2 embryos back. So, granted, we didn't get multiples where we were able to hopefully freeze some, and we didn't get multiples in the sense that we could pick the best 2. We just have the ones we have. We're grateful for those, so grateful, and we were able to use them. So it really couldn't have gone better than it did. And I feel like I'm disappointed almost in how my brain works. Talking about it right now is making me feel a little bit more emotional, but for the most part, I feel very blank. I don't know how else to explain it. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it really happened. And I don't know if that's just because it's the first time we've done it, but I feel good. If there's anything other than kind of the blankness of my mind, and I know that's just me trying to protect myself and trying not to get too excited and, and be set up for possibly being very upset. I feel like I'm just trying to breathe and to relax and to be happy with where we are, and that's not difficult. I feel like I've been able to maintain my stress levels and just feel very good about where everything stands, and really grateful that we were given this opportunity in the first place. So it's going to be a long 10 or 12 days, whatever. I think it's 12 days. It's going to be a long few days, but it's okay. This is the closest we've ever been to being where we want to be, and we're so happy about that. So thank you for the messages and for the well wishes. You guys are just incredible. The fact that you're going about your own lives, and some of you are going through your own cycles, and you're taking a second because you thought of us and you wanted to send us well wishes. It means so much. Almost every one of them makes me feel like I'm gonna cry. So I really appreciate that, and I feel like, I might have seemed really upset the day that I received the fertilization report, and I was, in the sense that it truly showed me how badly we needed to go through this step, how bad our odds are on our own. And I think that it was just the realization of that it's hard, because there's a certain amount, obviously, if we've been married for 8 years, and we haven't been preventing pregnancy for almost 10 years, and I haven't so much as missed a period related to a pregnancy scare or anything like that. Obviously that should show me how badly we needed it, but I think that the cold hard facts and the numbers came through, and it made me realize just how hard this could potentially be for us. So I'm not going to think about any of that though. I'm just going to try and relax and get my proper nutrition in, lots of rest, and there is no shortage of love over here, and that certainly helps. So thank you so much, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.